Hello, Tom. Well, it's Friday afternoon. I did the neighbour's pond a little bit earlier this morning, or that early afternoon, and I did get my lawns cut and a little bit tidied up, so I thought I'd give you a quick look before we start the garden planting, which is, we're a bit early yet. We still can get the frosts. Something you haven't seen, I don't think I showed you last year. I did this last year. I redid this patio area here. It was not very nice. It was all broken cement. I ripped it all out and I put down paving stones, exposed aggregate, and there was a tree here. There was a Japanese maple here, which I took out, and then I dug out a lot of it by hand, the stump. It was quite big. It was probably 15 feet to 20 feet tall. And where that little water feature is the stump. I sort of cut it down to ground level and leveled it off as best I could, and I did this little water feature. And it's a place where my mum can sit. She likes to sit out here. She sort of sits back here in her chair and looks around. It's quite pretty. There's a honeysuckle which always starts really good, and then it flowers and it really gets covered in blight or just doesn't do well. And that's looking across into the park area here, which is really nice. And it's really starting to look pretty. The leaves are all coming out. And here's a rhoda which I'm going to cut down after this flowers. As you can see, I have lots of new growth at the bottom here, so I want to cut the top out of it and move it down. And the other thing I want to do here is add another row or row and a half of paving stones, make it bigger. Unfortunately, when I put the umbrella in, not thinking, the sun is always coming from the southwest, so it casts the shadow in the wrong direction. So I need to move the umbrella over to this side, and then the sun will cast the shadow where everybody's sitting. So that's that little bit here. More flowers along there, which are quite nice. And then I also built this little cupboard here for my mum for her gardening tools. She was going in this little lean-to shed here, but it was meaning she had to bend over pretty bad to get in there. So I ended up making this little cupboard in here. And then I redid the path with gravel. And this is sort of the side path. I dug out a lot of stuff here today. The red hot pokers were getting out of hand. They were getting just too big. And I'm having to reseed along in here. I took a lot of this bank out. This was getting too much work, so I dug all this out and made it a lot smaller, and I've reseeded it. It's quite pretty coming through here because we've got Foti and Richard's side down here, which sort of blends into this garden. I don't know if the frog's still down it. We'll have a look in a minute. But then we get in the back here, and there's that magnolia tree. It gets noisy back here at this time of day with all the traffic. We had such weird weather. My buddleia trees, the butterfly plants, they did not do well. They were shooting, and then that frost came and it just about killed them. There is some new growth on this one, but I think I'm going to cut it right back down to here. This is all dead. All this is dead here. I mean, there's a bit of growth here. You can see in like these places are growth, but I think I'll cut down to. There's lots of growth down here, so I'll just do the old Percy thrower. You remember Percy thrower? I'll do that. This is a beautiful rhodo that flowers late Jan, early February. It's called a Christmas cheer, and that's it. That's all we got. It was all out in bud, and it just got hit with the frost so bad. Nothing happened, which was too bad. And here's the other buddleia. I don't see any signs of life on this one, but I'm sure there is in the bottom. So I will just wait another couple of weeks to see if I see any shooting on it, and then I'll go for it. In here we have bamboo doing quite well, and irises, and there's a peony in there. That green leaf there, it's ground ivy, and it's a curse. It just spreads. In many ways I don't mind it because it's green. So there's a peony down there. Like I made this bed smaller too last year. You can sort of see almost the line where it was before, but I've cut it right back. It's all too much work. And the forsythia, or forsythia, depending where you are, is done really well. A few straggler daisies there. But this I have to work on. This was the Edda water feature, which I haven't got going yet here. And these are some chive. Oh, the hop. I remember you liked the hop. So here's the hop. It's going like crazy. It's the hop. See the hop there? It's just going up the side. It just takes over. It's amazing. This was a plant, I forget what they call this one, but the lady at the nursery said, she said, I don't think it'll survive the winter, but it did, which was nice. Aren't these lovely, these magnolias? We do have a household here. Let's see if the frog's still there. We'll walk down and have a look. This is what's nice, having this right next door. You see, like the two gardens blending well together. Let's check it out. Oh, there he goes. Yeah, he jumped into the pond. He was back. He actually moved when Richard was here after I stopped filming. I don't know where he's gone now. He's got wise. He poked him with a stick a little bit last time and he just hopped away. But he's gone down into the weed there. Should have come a bit quieter, then we would have seen him. Anyhow, that's the quick garden tour before I've really done any work. You know, I'll get some planting going. You know, we really don't do much here much before May 24th weekend because, you know, to be honest, you never know what the weather's going to do here. But this is coming. I'll just show you a quick look in the complex. The lady was here yesterday, no, Tuesday, and she cut all the grass. She looks after all the middle part, which is common property to everybody. The 19 homes in here. But it's very quiet here. It's the land of the nearly dead. But this is really nice to have. We get ravens in here, we get deer, we get raccoons, and all kinds of wildlife. So, pretty spot. This place was built in the early 1970s, and it was sort of way ahead of its time with the architecture. And they're trying to get it sort of preserved to a heritage society. I don't know whether it'll ever happen. Some of the homes are single family, some of them are, you know, well, I guess they're all single family, but some of them are, like that one there is what you would call a semi-detached. They call them duplexes here. There's just one wall in between. And then some, like this one up here, where my friend Steve lives, is joined purely by the garage and the carport. That's all you can see up there. But that's it. That's the tour. Oh, there's the lovely old Spitfire, which I'm going to do a video on one day. This was one totally rust-free Triumph Spitfire, which I bought for my son for his 15th birthday, who is now 36, and he was into computers. He was virtually born into computers. And I said, Daniel, you're going to have to learn how to build and run a car. So this was a project we did, and we did a complete restoration. I mean, not a concourse, just a nice one where you don't mind taking it out. It doesn't matter if it gets wet or dirty. But I'll bring it out. I had it going here a couple of weeks ago, and I'll bring it out and let you have a really good look at it. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed that little walk around, and bye for now.